Good morning, hope you're all well. We're going to carry on with a bit more of the Land Rover project. We've got a bit more welding to do, and I'm going to try and get the rest of the engine built back up so that we can turn the car around and start on the other side. It's Saturday the 6th of August. The weather's not great, it looks a bit overcast, so it could rain. Fingers crossed it doesn't. We'll just crack on and get as much done as we can. So the first job, I'm going to fit the inlet manifold onto the engine. You might have seen in the previous video that I did the exhaust manifold. Now the inlet manifold can go on, and I've got the inlet manifold bolts here. I might just clean the face of that up. I'm going to quickly give that a clean up with the wire brush on the drill. It's going to take 2 seconds. Here we go. Right, some gloves. Now we've got to get the torque settings, and we'll just torque it up now. Here we are. Inlet manifold nuts and bolts. 25 Newton meters. Now I think this only goes down to 40. Yeah, the big one only goes down to 40, so I'll have to get me a little one. This one only goes up to 25. Would you believe it? .25 Newton meters. Don't know if it shows it on there. 25 Newton meters. Let's get cracking. Oh, and I need to use an adapter. I have a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch adapter, so that I can use the big 13 on that. Right, that's everything back in position. We've got the EGT gauge sensor back in, turbo oil feed and drain are back in. I also undid where the drain goes into the engine block, just to make it a bit easier for fitting. And then we've got the vacuum pipe back on. Now let's get under the car and have a look at the front part of this chassis. Right. So what I need to do is I need to cut this bracket the same as the back and put a plate on there, because that's not very solid. But first I think we should put the arm back on at the back, this rear arm, and get the wheel back on, get it all back together, and then start stripping the front bit. Good fun. Be alright when this is done. Be alright when this is done. Right, that's the rear suspension all put back on. I'm going to torque it all up afterwards, but it's all tight. I'm just going to have a coffee and a biscuit break for now, and then we'll start on the front. Right, so under the car we've got to get to this hole. There's a hole here, same as what was on the back, so I'm going to have to cut this bracket off and then I'll probably cut that section out and clear out all the crap that's in there, and then we'll plate all the way up to the new plate that we did the other day, and then we'll weld it all in, and then we'll have to put the bracket back in. Right, let's go and get the angle grinder and start cutting. Right, we've got this part of the bracket cut out now, and you can see the extent of the damage. There's quite a lot of rust in here. It's quite rotten. I've been using my tool and I've managed to clean out all of that in the chassis. Right, so after cleaning it all up with the angle grinder and the little Dremel tool I've got down there, I have now applied some weld through primer. That should help protect the bare metal, and I'm now going to cut out 2 patches to go over this. Right, that's the patches made up, ready to go on. Let's get the welder out and get cracking. Right, so I've just finished up grinding everything. I have welded everything to within an inch of its life. It's really difficult to weld some of the sections of the chassis because it's quite rusty. It doesn't weld very well. I've tried cleaning it up as much as I can, but I've done as good a job as I can. It's going to hold for at least a year or two. It is solid, so yeah, that's one thing. Now I'm going to give everything a coat of black paint, black chassis paint, and hopefully it looks alright. Come on, I'll take you out there and show you it. You might be able to see there's a big patch here, right the way along to there, and then there's another patch, shuffle under here, that joins on and goes under to there, and I've also welded this back on. It's not perfect, but it'll do the job. I'm just going to patch everything up now with a bit of black paint, and that's this side of the chassis done. We can now get everything put back together and turn the car around and have a look at the other side. The other side's not as bad. There's only a couple of little patches that I need that I can see. I'll have a quick look. Yeah, so we're nearly ready to take it for an MOT. I'm also going to do a bit of work on these discs. You might see these discs, they're quite rusty because it's been parked up for 3 months. So all I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to get the flap disc on the angle grinder. I'm going to get a brand new flap disc, and I'm just going to grind them up, and hopefully they'll do. Everything needs a right good clean though. It's all going quite rusty, like here. All just wants a right good clean, and eventually I'm going to take the axles off, completely go through them and paint them all up. There we go. That is the left hand side of the chassis, all welded up and painted. There's little bits around the wheels, around the front and the rear of the chassis that still need painting, but it's all solid now. So now we can get the wheels back on and start sorting out the other side. I'm probably not going to film the other side because it's all the same stuff, and it'll be pretty quick. So the next time we see you will maybe be the MOT time. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Hope that you've enjoyed these little welding videos, and we've got plenty more other videos to show about the fixing other bits and bobs, so stay tuned for the rest of them. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.